As the world turns, an old soap opera, Ukraine continues. We go forward, and we have not done much of anything yet. We or the European Union. As Vladimir Putin continues taking control, at least of the Crimea area, and is now talking about building a bridge into Crimea from Russia, ostensibly be able to bring troops in. The United States and the EU are making a lot of noises, but haven't done anything yet. Maybe it'll take another couple of days, we hope. We've stopped all preparatory meetings with the Russians for the G8. Big deal. But they're talking, and today they're talking hard, we in the EU, about real strong economic sanctions, or real strong sanctions, wherever they're going to be. They have to be economic, one assumes. The EU and America control most of the banks in the world, control a major part of the banking system, and can control and have a lot of negative implications on how Russia proceeds. The oligarchs have their money in the banking systems. They all need the banking systems to move around. They've got billions and billions of dollars hidden away. Putin probably does too, and it isn't all in rubles. So a major impact can be made upon Russia if we move forward. Everyone who follows us here knows that we believe strongly that you have to stand up. I mean, some other little interesting tidbits as we've gone forward. Vladimir Putin says that he has to protect the Russian-speaking people in Crimea. Really? Kind of sounds like Adolf Hitler, who said he had to protect the German-speaking people in Austria before he moved into Austria. Now, Vladimir Putin's not Adolf Hitler. He doesn't have the concentration camps. He's not looking to kill. He's just looking to be an autocrat who controls and brings the Soviet Union back in some type of way into today. But that's still what Adolf Hitler said. And it's interesting how Putin uses that as an excuse to go into Crimea, which is really Ukraine. On Fareed Zakaria's show, GPS, on CNN yesterday, and I really like watching Fareed, he had on a professor of, I believe, Soviet studies or whatever, who didn't think there really was much wrong with what Vladimir Putin was doing. Not only that, he comes up with some excuse and says, hey, if Canada entered into an economic agreement with Russia, the United States would invade. And even Fareed, who is such a nice guy, kind of just said, there's no way the United States would do that. And then the professor turns around and says, well, if it was a unilateral agreement that was exclusively with Russia. And Fareed didn't say much else after that. And all I could do was shake my head. This guy's a professor. A professor. He thinks we're going to invade Canada if an economic agreement gets entered into. This is all the stuff that goes on out there by people who are afraid to get involved. We're dealing with a situation where we have an autocrat who wants to take control and make it happen. Only the United States can step forward. The EU is still very much dependent on Russia's gas. We have to provide the leadership. We're talking big. Hopefully we're going to do it. We shouldn't be waiting much longer. We got to move before this man keeps taking steps forward and it becomes harder and harder for us to really put sanctions on him and to make it hurt. Peace.